What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlemania here, back with another video. Wrestlepalooza is over and fans are still trying to process what they watched in the opening match, with Brock Lesnar pummeling John Cena like he owed him money. Join us now as Wrestlemania looks at the real reasons why Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena at Wrestlepalooza. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. That was definitely a rough night for John Cena and some fans. It was like watching Cena's 2014 SummerSlam match against Brock Lesnar all over again, as the Beast Incarnate manhandled him from start to finish. Cena mounted a brief but futile comeback, hitting multiple AAs, only for Brock to kick out and then proceed to hit anywhere from 6 to 123 F5s, depending on who you asked. Or whatever the case, number 1, WWE wanted to shock its fans. Triple H promised plenty of excitement for Wrestlepalooza and some big surprises. While the WWE's first PLE on ESPN was an average show at best, including a total absence of any meaningful surprises, it's obvious WWE thought watching Brock Lesnar dismantle John Cena on the last leg of his farewell tour was an electrifying way to start the show. While it was shocking in some sense, some fans felt it wasn't the best way to honor the man repeatedly praised by WWE's announcers as the greatest of all time. As no reason Cena had to win, indeed he had a strong win-loss record during his farewell tour, something quite different than his last few years in WWE, not even picking up a singles win since 2018. Nevertheless, Cena didn't have to look like a punk at Wrestlepalooza, or did he? Number 2, Cena's leaving and Brock isn't. Short of John and WWE working the fans, which is incredibly unlikely, the 17-time world champion is leaving at the end of 2025, and he's not coming back, at least for a match. However, Brock Lesnar is another story. The Beast is back after a 2-year vacation, and it's believed he's inked a new deal before his return at this year's SummerSlam. That means WWE as a blue-chip wrestler it can use as needed, and one it obviously wants to keep as a menacing figure. While it's easy to fault WWE for having Cena lose in such a lopsided way, there's some merit to the idea that if you want to put over the guy who is sticking around, it did mean that John Cena had to look weak in the process. Number 3, the match was motivation. Brock's decisive win could be partly due to WWE management wanting to convince Lesnar that they didn't sign him to a new deal to put mid-card acts over. WWE may have even told Lesnar that they had big plans for him and that his match with Cena would be a repeat of 2014 SummerSlam, showing how much faith they have in him. John Cena has been very protected in 2025, so a win like Brock's is a major achievement, especially for someone who's been out of action for so long. This wouldn't be the first time a promoter thought a worked achievement was the proverbial carrot it could use to entice a wrestler. Number 4, Cena's quest for 100 wins is still unfulfilled. Can John Cena get to 100 singles PLE wins before he's retired? He's definitely close at 99, and WWE has been reminding fans that its resident GOAT is definitely closing in. However, it's almost October and the clock is ticking, as Cena only has 5 appearances left, which means he has less time to seal the deal. The win at Wrestlepalooza could have been Cena's 100th win, a huge milestone sweetened even more by beating Brock Lesnar. Regrettably for Cena, that's not what happened, and he has to find a way to win if he wants to set another record. In John's case, a personal record, as The Undertaker has well over 100 PLE wins, besides winning his 17th world title. Number 5, Brock's big boast. Interestingly enough, Brock can now boast that he not only squashed Cena, but he denied him a chance to get his 100th PLE win. Given WWE's incredibly weak booking, this is unlikely to happen, but it does create an instant program where Lesnar taunts Cena, perhaps even threatening to make sure Cena doesn't win his 100th PLE match. Will it happen? Well, probably not, as WWE seems too busy counting its money rather than pleasing its fans. Number 6, Cena wanted to do the time-honored tradition. No matter how you feel about Cena's lopsided loss, you have to admire Cena for doing the time-honored tradition by putting someone over big on his way out of the promotion. While WWE needs to avoid having Cena lose to too many people before he retires, it is important for him to lose to superstars WWE think will benefit from a win as one-sided as Brock's was tonight. Granted, one might think WWE would give a big win like this to someone who isn't established as Brock Lesnar. An argument that fans were definitely making when Brock snapped The Undertaker's unbeaten streak at WrestleMania 30. But it's clear WWE wants Brock at the top of the food chain. Cena has made it clear in interviews that he wanted his farewell tour to be about giving back to the fans and the WWE by working any programs they asked for, which also led to a dreadful decision to turn him heel. Fans can now add getting squashed by Lesnar to the questionable booking Cena agreed to in 2025. Number 7, the squash sets up a rematch. Tonight's Cena vs Lesnar match was billed as their final encounter, But since when have fans ever believed anything promoters said? Case in point, Triple H promising that Wrestlepalooza would be full of surprises. Tonight's match could have been the setup for a heated rematch where Cena demands a rematch with Lesnar and digs deep to show his fans that while he's nearing the end of his career, he's still abiding by his creed of hustle, loyalty and respect. Cena vs Lesnar Part 2, if booked correctly, and obviously fans don't want to see Cena get flattened a second time in a row, could give John a great send-off at Saturday night's main event or the upcoming Crown Jewel show. Everyone loves an underdog, and any rematch between John and Brock is going to have the odds favouring Lesnar, the perfect way to sell this match. Number 8. Brock vs Cena in War Games. Now, although Cena's dance card may be too full to squeeze in another match with the Beast incarnate, that doesn't rule out John Cena facing Lesnar and Paul Heyman's new crew in a War Games match. Now that War Games is a Survivor Series tradition, fans know that they can count on seeing a major feud play out in a two-cage structure. Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are a lock, and Brock could join in, either leaving things as a 4-on-4 match or adding another member to Seth's crew. As for Cena's partners, Roman Reigns and CM Punk are the best candidates, and with Jey and/or Jimmy Uso fitting in well, although there are plenty other superstars who could show up, putting Cena into the War Games match will give him a great chance to work a match he's never competed in, adding even more star power to the bout and giving Cena a chance to tame the Beast. Number 9. Fans will wonder what Brock's game with Heyman is. What was Paul Heyman and his friend, as opposed to client, doing together for tonight's match? The thought of Lesnar aligning himself with Heyman seems incredible when you recall how Heyman betrayed him to help Roman Reigns. Then again, this is wrestling, where alliances of convenience are always made to get an advantage. Now fans can only wonder if Brock is using Heyman to get close to Seth so he can strike and grab the World Heavyweight Championship, or Heyman is using Lesnar in another of his elaborate schemes to help himself. Number 10. Someone can get revenge for Cena. Or will John Cena get revenge he needs against Brock Lesnar? Now it's too early to tell, and while we have suggested some scenarios where Cena could strike back, Brock's win also opens the door for babyfaces to step up and challenge Brock. In a normal world, there may not be many people willing to take on Lesnar after he annihilated Cena, but in a dramatic world of wrestling, babyfaces will not take kindly to Brock's senseless beating of Cena. Who will step up to challenge Lesnar could be a compelling storyline, particularly if WWE gives him some real opposition rather than going with the predictable storyline of R-Truth going for payback. Lesnar's return to the top of the mountain could see some classic rematches, including Lesnar vs Orton, or even some new ones. Number 11 sets Brock up as world title contender. Tonight's trouncing of Cena also shot Brock right back into the title contention. Now that doesn't mean that Lesnar has to start chasing one of WWE's world champions, and he certainly shouldn't waste his time with a secondary title like the US Championship or IC title. But whenever the time is right, Lesnar is an instant contender. Now we have a feeling that WWE isn't going to push Brock into a world title match right away, but when it does, expect a blockbuster. And it makes Brock vs Gunther even more appealing. Speaking of blockbusters, Brock Lesnar vs Gunther is looking better than ever. Fans who've been clamoring for the match had plenty of reasons to be excited. Two behemoths with technical skills that made them a double threat, impressive win-loss records, and a history of destroying opponents just because they could. Unfortunately, Brock's string of losses to Roman Reigns made it look like he lost a step. Although Lesnar showed some fire during his 2023 feud with Cody Rhodes, he still lost the series to the American Nightmare, and one could argue that Brock's biggest role was to help turn main eventers into megastars. Tonight's win suggests otherwise, as Lesnar defeated John Cena with ease, looking like the Brock Lesnar from 10 years ago. Now obviously this changes everything when it comes to Brock locking up with Gunther, and it'll be interesting to see how WWE plays this one out. Most likely, they'll save this program for 2026, culminating in a singles match at WrestleMania 42. However, the two titans could cross paths before then, building excitement for their eventual match. But there you have it folks, the real reasons why Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena at Wrestlepalooza. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.